Okay, so Tuesday early in the morning, I heard two people, it sounded like outside. It sounded like they maybe had been drinking, talking a little bit louder to each other. I heard it for a couple minutes, maybe about 2 minutes or so, 3 minutes. Anyhow, I had to go outside, throw out some garbage. I went outside, threw out the garbage. As I was closing the door, I heard help, help, help. I figured, you know what, I'll go outside. I went downstairs. I looked over at the neighbor's house. In the Muskoka chair there was somebody that appeared to be an older lady, or an older man actually, sorry. It actually turned out to be an older lady. So I came over here, right over there. I picked her off the chair. She was sitting down in the chair. Picked her off the chair, walked with her very, very slowly into the house, kind of almost checking over my shoulder just to make sure everything was okay, and walked her this way, up here, and into the house again.
When I first went down, she looked very terrified and very scared. And then so I went and I sat beside her and I started talking to her, asking her like, what happened? Like, are you lost? And she told me she was at a friend's house. They were having dinner. She had dinner with her daughter, and that she felt like someone put something in her drink. She lost her car. And then she just kept repeating that she felt weird and that she lost her car. Yeah. And then she could tell me her age and her name and her birth date. And then all of a sudden when my husband asked, she just went blank. Yeah, my husband went upstairs and got our blanket and we wrapped her, and she asked me to warm her hands, so I did. Yeah. And I just sat with her and warmed her up while we waited for the paramedics.
They basically took over from there. Right? They basically took over. From there, they asked us a couple questions, and my wife. They asked my wife to do a couple of things. Like, what did they ask you to do?
Put towels in the dryer for her to warm her up.
Yeah. Well, yeah. They weren't sure where she came from. They, had a few ideas, but we found out later on that she had wandered off from one of the neighbors' houses. A couple doors down. We were kind of surprised that there's a lot of dogs in the area. That none of the dogs would pick up the bark, and it's just, I guess we were lucky that there was no train running by that night, because it can get a little bit louder here sometimes with the train and all that stuff, right? Highway, and yeah. I mean, if she was in the backyard, I wouldn't have heard her. Had we not had a deck in the front of the house on the second level here, I wouldn't have heard her. Like, she is hypothermia, it looks like she almost had dreadlocks in her hair from being outside for so long.
She had no shoes, no coat,
no shoes,
she was
no coat.
Ice cold, she was out there for a while. She even said she didn't think anyone was going to hear her calling for help.
If you see something, do something, if you don't want to, open your door, maybe I probably should have even called 911 before, open my door, but you don't have to do anything yourself. You can just, call 911 or call whoever you think needs the right help.